Hello guys, we're back and we're continuing our modded Greases campaign with episode number 2. Now I do need to make a little quick deviation just to let you guys know that I forgot to save the campaign at the end of the first episode. So I had to refight this battle and nothing really changed significant with that, but our bounties did change. So unfortunately we're not going to have the same options that we had before, like to kill a Skaven character up here. But looking at them now, we have two from the Skaven clan that is right here, and they both want us to go after Ghorst and occupy one of the settlements up here. And Zhao Ming did offer for us to go to the village of the Tigermen. That's a little bit out of our way, even though it is a nice payday. The Wailing Banner is not a great item for the Ogres because they already have a lot of fear and terror-causing units, but it can be useful. But these two are actually pretty interesting, and since they're so close to one another, I believe Ghorst is going to be like right here. Okay, he's actually in the settlement right now, so that's good because he wants us to take out both of those. But we do have our two starting enemies still. We have the dwarfs over here and the other ogre faction. Now, normally that's kind of what you would want to do as Graces, is to kind of take more of the Mountains of Morn immediately because there's lots of valuable resources and landmarks there. But I think getting a nice payday right off the start would be pretty cool to go after Ghorst. But we don't necessarily want to leave these areas undefended, because by the time we got down there, these guys would come after us and probably sack some of our territory. So let's look and see if they'll actually would be willing to go for peace right now, which they are.
So I can be done with them.
I don't want to make a non-aggression pact because we plan to come back and kill them. So we'll just take the peace treaty for now. We can break that in 10 turns. And we'll do that with the other faction as well, just so they don't come and take my my settlements. But we are recruiting some Iron Fist, another Noblar. And then we have our Bruiser up here, and we'll get a Hunter next turn from the camp. Once we do this turn of recruitment, we'll send Greases down and we'll start going after the Undead. I'm also really excited to do that because our Firebelly, one of his big names is to fight a battle against the Undead, and he gets really, really good attributes. He gives new psychology for the entire army, and Bellfire as a passive ability around him, which adds flaming fire attacks. Sorry, flaming fire attacks are the same thing. Flaming attacks, magical attacks, and flame resist. So pretty good ability. Especially the magical attacks, because we are planning to fight Nurgle at some time, because I want to come down here towards Ruin's End, because that's where one of the landmarks to recruit Chaos Ogres is at. So that'd be a natural little point for us to go. So let's get this turn of recruitment done, and we'll start heading down to take out the Undead. I probably should cancel or decline that bounty from Zhao Ming to go down to the village of the Tigermen. I think that's a little bit too far away. I'm not sure how many turns it had. I think it might have been 20 or 30, whereas these two to go after Ghorst from the Skaven, I think only had 10 turns. So they're more of a priority that we want to do right away. But it will be very beneficial for us to make good relations with Zhao Ming. He can be a good ally, not only because he would protect our eastern flank, but also because he really likes ogres and he'll pay a lot for our mercenaries. So, yeah, let's look at that one real fast. So we have 30 turns to do that one. It's actually not bad. So we're coming down here anyway. We might have to go a little bit out of our way after dealing with Ghorst, but sounds interesting, so we'll keep that in mind. Alright, we have the ability to recruit. Okay, we can get a Hunter next turn, but we do have our Bruiser. I want to get down here as quickly as possible so we can get these bounties done before it gets too close to expiring. So we're going to march all the way down. We're not at war with anyone right now, so I'm not worried about getting attacked. But let's send our Bruiser down as well so we can join Greases. And then at our province, we definitely want to upgrade our gold mine at the Great Hall of Greasus, because Greasus's whole mechanics from the Tyrant's Demand revolves around money, so we want to get as much of it as possible. And we may have enough to afford... Okay, never mind. The landmark is only available at tier 3, so that's good to know. But the Great Hall of Greasus is kind of in a protected position, because eventually we'll take this stuff, so I don't know if I need to build a garrison right here right away. We may just want to do something that's got... Ooh, we can do this one. Because this will let us recruit a butcher right away instead of having to save meat and build up the camp a little bit. So I think we want to do that so we can get a butcher as soon as possible. And then for the rest of our growth, I think we actually just want to save it to get this to tier 3 because that landmark is actually pretty good. It gives us negative relations with Ogre kingdoms, but we plan to kind of conquer them anyway. And the income from trade and 600 gold per turn is quite a bit. So yeah, we'll save our growth and get this up to tier 3, then we'll focus on the other things up there. But yeah, we are at 83 meat, so we are gradually losing a little bit. We are down into starving, so that's unfortunate. But luckily our army's pretty much already at full. So by the time we get down here to fight Ghorst, hopefully our army will be back at full health. We will get that turn going. I don't believe there's anyone else that we want to make relations with. Ooh, actually our relations are deteriorating with Xiaoming off the start. So maybe we go for the trade agreement right away. We don't have to pay anything. He'll actually pay us 20 in gold. So that'll be good for us. That way we don't have to worry about him attacking us before we can build up positive relations. But we can also trade... Oh, we can trade with Miao as well. I don't plan to venture too much into Cathay with this campaign because I think there's a lot more interesting opportunities up in the north and then to the west. But who knows? The ogres are very opportunistic, so that may end up being what we want to do anyway. Yeah, so I'm going to trade with a lot of the Cathay factions. I don't want to trade with the Skaven, though, because that will kind of piss everyone else off. But that should be good for Greasus. Yeah, unfortunately, he is losing meat. I haven't built up these camps yet to give meat to our armies. I need a little... Actually, we're already starving, so let's transfer some meat over, because we're not... It's not going to help us anyway right now. But I think we needed 75 meat to be able to start building this. Yes. So let's transfer some meat over, since it's not going to help us anyway right now. Oh, I guess, oh, well, I guess that was a bad decision, because now we're not healing at all. Well, that's not too bad. The rest of our army's pretty full, so. Let's get this building for that meat. And that's good for this turn. We need to remember to recruit our hunter next turn. And we're going to save our growth for Greasus' Great Hall. Probably should think about actually picking this camp up. Initially, I put it here because I thought we might not be down in the south too much, but now that we're actually going to head down there immediately, we might pick this camp up next turn and then redeploy it. Because we may up standing in the south fighting Ghorst a little bit longer than maybe anticipated, and with Nurgle there as well. Rich to walk. Alright, let's get the camp hunter though. So we have confident, pretty decent trait for the ogre since their leadership is not too high. Big Daddy, just charge and leadership. Not too amazing, especially since he gets the Stoneharm out. It already gets a pretty good charge bonus. That's not amazing. Cunning's pretty interesting though. The ambush success chance is nice. And the poison attacks, especially when he's on the Stonehorn, is actually really good. because he does poison damage. I mean, since he has splash attacks, he'll apply that poison damage to multiple units. But the leadership is kind of hard to beat, especially since we're on legendary. So we will go ahead and take the leadership one. Okay, we are still going down in meat, but we're getting a little bit from the camp right now, so we can't make it to Mount Thug yet. But let's, I think we should have enough movement to make the attack on Mount Thug next turn. If we garrison in the settlement, that way we get a little bit of extra healing. We get 8 guys back in these Nobbler Pitback Riders, and we'd get 2 Ogres back in each of these. Trying to find my butcher. We'll use him to scout a little bit, since we can't make it to the settlement anyway. He'll just look out for us a little bit. So, as you guys can tell, the Immersive Battle and Banners mod, you're seeing it in action right here. So it doesn't apply to any of the Ogre factions, since it hasn't been updated for them, but it does apply to all Warhammer 1 and 2 factions. So, for example, you can see him in Ghorst. His faction banners are still the same, but the flag for his individual armies will be different. Do we have enough movement range to where we could raid, though? No, we do. We do not. But we could go to encampment stance. We still don't have enough to get the replenishment. Yeah, I think we'll go to Grimtop. Hopefully we have enough movement range to make it to... Actually, no. The extra 2 guys, I'm indecisive right now. I think the extra 2 guys isn't a huge deal. We're going to go into the ambush stance just because it'll help us develop the trait that gives us more ambush success chance. What we could actually do, we could declare war on Helm and Ghorst this turn, and hopefully try to get an ambush up here. It's only a 50% chance, but we would have the settlement garrison to help us in the fight. I think that might be the smarter idea than rather having to try to chase him around. So we'll see if that works. If not, we can attack the settlement next turn. Unfortunately, that means we won't have our bruiser in the army. But something we have to live with. Let's level up this camp turret real fast. Want to generate meat for his army, so he naturally has a little bit of income to be able to upgrade his buildings later on. And yeah, so let's see what happens here. Let's see what the Skaven will pay us to join war against them now.
I only deal barter in warpstone or slaves. You better have one or both.
Okay, pay us 1361 to join war, or we could take a trade agreement. I think we're actually going to want to control this stuff, so I'm just going to take the money. But we'll see whether this ambush works out or not. It would be really nice to have the Bruise in the army to deal with the White King, but a little late for that. But we'll see what happens right here. I'll be interested to see if we can get this battle. I definitely think it's winnable. The Skeleton Warriors, unfortunately, will outclass our Nobblars. But okay, he actually decides to retreat. That's not terrible for us. Yeah, the Nobblars will probably be outclassed by the Skeleton Warriors. Partially because they cause fear as well. But our Ogres should be able to deal with a lot of the infantry. The Mortis engine that starts in his army, though, could be a problem. Ooh, we get a lot of meat for this camp. That's pretty nice. Means we don't have to send any over for a while. We definitely want something that's going to give us more resources, though, because that's what we're kind of starving for. So let's take the post-battle loot. Oh, actually, we were going to decide if we want to pick this camp up. We'll do this post-battle one first, because we're going to get some meat from a battle right here at Mount Thug. And then we'll pick it up after it finishes the post-battle building. Right, let's put this bruiser in before I forget. So we can get some experience. Then the hunter. Let me select the hunter, please.
Ogre hunter.
He'll be able to get here in probably 3 turns to where he can join the army.
Kill him! Eat him!
But we can get a butcher next turn as well.
Then meat.
Alright, let's jump into this first battle. 4 skeleton warriors. 5 things of zombies. Dire wolves and fullbats. Okay, nothing too scary. Loading into our first battle of the episode. So this is actually our first battle against the Undead as well. We did declare war against Ghorst following some of our bounties, but Greasus' horde moving in. Our Firebelly in the back looking to cast a fireball on... I can't remember if it's the... Okay, yeah, the Fellbats. Fellbats can be really annoying. So that's why we decided to go for them on that. We got our Bruiser going ahead of the rest of the army, getting his charge off, along with Greasus kind of moving in, while the rest of our Noblars and Ogres are going for the center now. Looks like those Dire Wolves died pretty quick on the left flank. We have our Noblar Trappers coming in the back, along with a big Burning Head. Burning Head going to prove to be very useful in this campaign, especially when we're fighting against the Undead. But yeah, battle shouldn't be anything to worry about. Get a little bit of cinematic view on our Firebelly right here. Watch him waste some zombies along with these Iron Guts. See if we can get a cool cool attack right there. And all these other guys are getting debuffed by Greasus with his Everyone Has Their Price. And we have our Nobbler Trappers coming to get some little missiles off in the end. Yeah, Undead have started to crumble pretty quickly. Looks like this unit of zombies and over here are the last little vestiges that are holding out. Oh, but probably with this second Burning Head, that should call it for the battle, I'm gonna guess. Yep, the last vestiges of the army start to crumble, so it's only a matter of time. Alright, so pretty easy battle. They didn't really have anything that could threaten us, but our Firebelly did do some work with Burning Head. I'm really glad we picked that up. That's going to be really useful as we fight the Undead. It looks like these Ogre Bulls with dual weapons, they decided to be our MVP right there with 90 kills. Doing really well. Probably fighting mostly zombies, but what is a win? So as we take this, I am planning to keep this settlement, so we're going to occupy it. I don't want to loot it. Ooh, we got a big name unlocked for our Bruiser. So we just finished unlocking the one for our Firebelly. Is the entire reason we came down to fight the Undead, because this is really good. But for our Bruiser, what was the big name we got? Win a battle with another hero in your army. So now he gets Guardian and Physical Resist. That's pretty good. We didn't look at his big names before the battle. So he has a big name to win a battle with 5 units of Crushers, which Crushers are really good, but they're very expensive late game units. So, but he would give them Murderous Charge. Awesome. So they would get a massive boost to their speed, mass, and charge bonus, and acceleration. So that could be really good. I really like Crushers as well. They're really cool units. And since we do have the cool mod that kind of adjusts their visuals a little bit, well, you will plan to use them once we get access to them. But then we also have win a battle against an army containing 5 missile units. We're not going to get that right now, fighting the Undead, but it may happen when we fight like Nurgle or the Skaven, so that's pretty good. Armor and missile resist is always nice as well. And then win a battle with a heroic victory, he gets a bigger leadership aura size plus unbreakable. That's really good. Heroic victory, I think we'd have to face a significantly larger force in order to get heroic victory, which may happen against the Undead. They like to field multiple armies, but let's level him up real fast. Let's go with training. Our Firebelly. We have Burning Head already. Let's go for scouting, because it's really nice to get more magical items, which we should look at those after we finish leveling up our characters.
They're shockingly obese.
And we've got a little bit of growth going. We've got recruitment reductions. Let's go for looter, because we will eventually start making a lot more money from looting and sacking once we kind of get to territory that we don't necessarily want to keep. So we will do that one.
Valuable, I'll have it.
And now that we control Mount Thug, what do we want to do?
Grease's gold.
I plan to keep a hold of this stuff. So let's just go for growth right now, especially since we were kind of low on meat, so we want that extra little replenishment. Yeah, that battle did not give us very much meat. So after this turn, we'll pick this camp up and probably redeploy it down here once we're able to do that. And we've got one more turn till we can spend our growth to get the Great Hall of Graces to tier 3, so we can get that nice landmark for the toll gate. But yeah, we have our hunter. I would like to get a little bit more meat so we can get another butcher. But I guess we have to get into tier 3 to unlock another one. But we will be able to get our butcher next turn here at Grimtop. So let's go on to that. Yeah, Village of the Tigermen. We'll hold on to that one. We may end up going over there. If we can deal with Greases, or not Greases, if we can deal with Ghorst pretty quickly. And I should decide to whether I want to recruit a second Lord just to follow on Greases so we can start getting some experience. I like doing that because it also gives us a second chance at getting a magic item. If you didn't know that, the more Lords you have participating in a battle, the more chances you have to get magic items. So I probably should have done that before we ended the turn, because he would have been able to join Grease's next turn, but I tend to be a little bit overzealous sometimes, but that's something for those of you who know my channel, know that I tend to do that a lot. Okay, so we issued 2 commandments, now we got the Tenderizer. This gives weapon strength, and the ability is it affects all allies in range for a 50% damage boost. That's really good. Ooh, what did actually Noblar prosthetics actually do? It reduces upkeep and recruitment costs for Noblar and payback riders. Okay.
Boss of bosses.
So let's recruit that butcher before I forget. I want to get Lore of the Great Mob because that actually has access to some healing, which is nice. So Tactician, not fantastic. Farter's not bad for the campaign movement range. And the speed, so we'll get him. Let's bring our hunter a little bit closer as well. He's not going to be able to join this turn, but
Ogre Hunter.
let's check through our items real fast, though. Oh, and we haven't looked at his big names.
Quarry.
So reach rank 15, he gets a melee attack debuff around him and mass. That's pretty good. When a battle against an army containing 3 monsters, he gets some bonus for large and missile strength. That's pretty good as well. Win 5 battles, hit points and armor, and win a battle with 2,500 kills. Melee attack and weapon strength. So he's got pretty decent big names. They're all kind of just for him. It would be nice to see some other ones that have some for like beasts and stonehorns and stuff, but we'll get some other heroes throughout the campaign that can get that, so we're not going to worry too much. We want to get meat generating for these armies as quick as possible. And this camp we're going to pick up and move, I think, or maybe we keep... No, this one we're going to go up north eventually, so yeah, we'll pick up this one. How can I do that right there? We'll place it down here in a couple of turns. Okay, we can't make it to Novelty Gorge yet, but this is territory controlled with rampant vampire corruption. So we're going to come down in encampment stance. Yeah, we don't have the meat to get the extra leadership and casualty replenishment, so that could bite us in the butt. Especially with 3 armies coming at us, but it's all going to be mostly infantry, which shouldn't be too bad. The poison is kind of annoying, but... Let's start upgrading Great Hall of Greases. We can get that landmark. This camp, it is generating meat very slowly. So what do we want to spend our meat on right now? This is going to be income from raising and sacking and looting, whereas this one is just pulse battle loot and a base income. So let's do that one.
This'll bring me spoil.
That's as good as we can get right now. I do expect us to get attacked by all three of these armies, which is unfortunate. But I think it's winnable. The biggest issues are going to be the characters. Greases should do pretty well against them. He's got a ton of HP. We've got a Bruiser who's also heavily armored. Fortunately, we don't have our Butcher or the Hunter in the army yet, but yeah, the biggest things to worry about are... Oh, never mind. He doesn't have a Mortis engine. Maybe he did and lost it, but the Corpse Cart could be a problem. We have Pigback Riders to deal with the Cryptors and the Black Coach, but let's look in these secondary armies. So, okay, all Skeleton Warriors, 2 with Spears. Then the third army, about the same thing. So, it's probably going to be a pretty good battle. We're going to have to rely heavily on our magic to deal with all the infantry. But it does look like we can kind of force a choke point battle up here or up here. So I don't think it should be too bad. But I'm going to do a quick save in case I forget to save after the end of this episode. Alright, this will be our first real test in this campaign with this battle. Our rival Ogre Tyrant proved to be a little bit of a challenge, but this is a significant army. We have Ghorst with a full army of skeletons for the most part. 2 things of Cryptors, a Black Coach, he's got a White King, and some Fellbats, and lots of skeleton warriors. And in the reinforcements, he's got basically another full army and a half of skeleton warriors, along with a Necromancer and a Strogoi Ghoul King. For us, though, this map, when we looked at it, I thought was going to have more choke points over here, but the terrain ended up being really, really bad for us, so we decided not to fight there. But we have this little goalie that could prove to be our best ally for this battle. We've got this flank pretty much covered with this little rocky... What do you call it? A hill? Not really a hill, but we're going to send our Firebelly up. I think send some fireballs off, probably at the Fellbats, or maybe at some of the Cryptors, actually. Cryptors would probably be a better target. Yep. Oh no, we sent it at the Black Coach, but it ended up missing, but it did hit these Skeleton Warriors, so it wasn't a waste of magic. But Fellbats are going to kind of come after our Firebelly, since he did go a little bit ahead of the army. A little bit of a misplay by the AI right there. But Ghorst is looking to come in with the rest of his army, and the White King as well, going in, taking the initiative, coming after our Firebelly. Little does he know, though, that we've got Greases and our Bruiser over here. They're going to put a walloping on him, most likely. Reinforcements of the Vampires start coming in. It's quite a horde. But got a little 3-on-1 right now. Not Greases on his little Noblars. Taking forever to get there, but he does come in. Big hit. Meanwhile, the hordes of the Undead come shambling towards us. That is a lot of Undead. White King? Yeah, that was a mistake by him. Greases does have a pretty good bonus versus large bonus. Yeah, 25, so that lets him get some pretty good attacks off. Undead's coming in. I did miss the charge on a few of our guys, but I'm not too worried about that. We will get some of them off, but yeah, the Black Coach decides to come and try to get on our Noblar Trappers that Vanguard deployed over here. But we caught them with some of our Pigback Riders, who are anti-large, so that's going to be good. And we did send the Man-Eaters after them as well. We got some more regular Ogre Balls coming in to fight the Cryptors. Ooh, that's not a great matchup for us, because Cryptors do have poison and they have regeneration as well. But it's kind of what we had to do. We're trying to consolidate our forces as much as possible to make our magic more effective. First Burning Head goes down. Gets a few kills, but it does a lot of damage to these units, but there's going to be a lot more of that to come. They have the maximum amount of units on the field right now, but they still have, what, 5 or 6 units in their reinforcement still. But we come in. The Ogres are holding out pretty well. Our Noblars were chasing the Black Coach around for a while. I decided to bring the Man-Eaters back so they can help support these guys over there. And especially since some of these Crypt Ghouls tried to get into our back line and get on some of our Noblars. We sent them in to reinforce over there. Firebelly doing pretty good by himself. He's stuck in the middle of combat a little bit, so not ideal. But the White King is basically dead. We've got our Bruiser right there, and Greasus looking to kill him, which she did go down. And with another big burning head right there. Magic is our greatest strength in this battle. He's facing the Undead. Ooh, yeah, there's our first break on the left flank to these Crypt Pours and the masses of Undead coming. Noblars do not do well against the Undead because of their ability to cause fear. And our leadership is already debuffed because I left Greasus' army at the starving point. So they have a reduced leadership. It could prove to be very key in this battle, whether we win it or not. But some of our ogres got chased away, broken, but they are coming back along with some Noblars. We did finish off the Black Coach over here with our Payback Riders, and some of our Noblars are coming back. This Strigoi Ghoul King, though, he's proven to be quite a bit more for our Bruiser than I think he thought he could chew on. Even though the Strigoi Ghoul King does not have very much armor, he has really good leadership and really good melee stats, along with regeneration and poison attacks from Ghorst faction effects. So it's going to be pretty difficult. We have some dire wolves trying to come around to our backline. I did notice them. They were trying to come in onto my trappers, so we sent these other Noblars to hopefully help them out a little bit. But our Firebelly coming back, I sent him over to fight the Cryptors because he does imbue fire damage, since we got the Bellfire big name with our first battle against the Undead at their settlement, so that's going to be really, really useful for this battle. As far as actually what the fire damage does, it is going to help when he casts because it imbues fire weakness, so any units that are near him will get a little bit of extra damage, but the Cryptors, due to their regeneration, will take a lot of damage from that fire weakness. But over here, it's just a big old mosh pit. Strigoi Ghoul King holding out strong. Our ogres are doing pretty well, though. Another big burning head going to come out. Start to roast all these skeletons alive. Our backline is holding okay. These Ogre Bulls do finally come back. Help finish off these dire wolves, hopefully. But yeah, look at the... look how much more quickly those Cryptors went down with that Firebelly near to give fire attacks. That helped out quite a bit. He is racking up some kills with those those burning heads, up over 1,000 kills already. Still a lot of undead remaining, though. And their leadership is holding up pretty well because their characters so far are being pretty resilient. Ghorst and his other Master Necromancer seem to hang back a little bit. But I think Ghorst is close enough most of the time to give off his Unholy Lodestone effect for the healing. Firebelly roasting those Fellbats now that they've come back. But here's another big burning head. Yeah, we definitely made a great choice choosing to fight this little valley because it clumped up the Undead for us to make our magic a little bit more effective. But just big grind out mosh pit for our units. Ogres are getting a fair amount of kills. These guys up to 275, so getting their value. Fighting mostly just skeletons. But more Fellbats coming in, trying to get on top of our Noblar trappers. But the Firebelly's there to support their leadership, make sure they don't break for good. But our Bruiser, man, he's taking a little bit of damage. Those Cryptors have been kind of resilient on this side, but the Strigoi Ghoul King. See if I can actually click on him and see how much value he got. He actually not done a whole lot of damage so far, but he has not been able to been hit by our units though. Greasus Gonna get his ability to use everyone has their price in a little bit. That'll be a nice debuff for a lot of these undead units. The right flank, we concentrated our magic almost entirely on this side at first so that we could get these units down so we could kind of come back and then focus our fire on the center once the right flank has been broken. But the Undead's still putting up a good fight. Yeah, look at that. That on fire is going to help quite a bit because every time we cast with our fire belly, let's see if I can find him. He imbues fire weakness with Kindle Flame for 15 seconds. So proven to be very, very key in this battle against the Undead. Ghorst deciding not to sully his hands and getting to melee himself quite yet. But even without that, it's like, man, our ogres took a lot of damage. These ogre bowls routing for the second time, I believe. Our Iron Guts and our Man-Eaters have held up really, really well, though. Man-Eaters with, 334 kills. Still up with 14 models. What about our Iron Guts? Let's check a look at that. Only 171 kills, but I think they spent a significant portion of that battle going after the Cryptors. But we do break all of the leadership of the Undead. But the Master Necromancer and Gore still holding out for a little bit until the Limey Losses kicks in. That fireball breaks him for good. And then there's no coming back. What a battle. Holy moly, that was a bump clincher. Oh. Yeah, they brought almost 6,000 troops. And to our credit, that was mostly skeleton warriors. There weren't that many zombies. Skeleton warriors are significantly harder to deal with than zombies. Looking at our army, we actually didn't get that many kills with all of our ogres, and the Nobblers didn't do that bad, but look at our Firebelly. He got 1,600 kills. He was the key factor in that battle. There's no way we would have got anywhere close to winning that battle without him, but holy camoli, that was a good one. And we got a fair amount of meat. Yeah, we got 447 meat. So Greasus can actually not be starving anymore, which is good. Because that leadership penalty from being starving almost lost us the battle. We had multiple times where units routed off, at least once or twice. Almost 3 times. So if a unit routes 3 times, they're gone for good. But yeah, let's look at the post-battle options. We can take 1,000 gold. We have a lot of gold right now, though. 172 meat's not bad. But I definitely think we want that replenishment because that battle was pretty costly. But we've taken care of Ghorst, his army at least. These other 2 are almost dead. I wonder if we will have enough movement range to make an attack on one of them and then also hit Nobly Gorge this same turn. It's going to be pretty close, though. Okay, there's one of our bounties. Awesome. So we get the reduction cost on our camps, along with a fair amount of gold, 3,600. Ooh, we get our quest item for Greasus, the Scepter of Titans, which that one does have some pretty good bonuses, like the upkeep reduction is nice, plus the most battle loot. He already has pretty decent melee attack, but Scepter of Titans is good. It makes him really, really good at killing characters and monsters. But we'll look at those once we actually come to where we actually fight that battle. Yeah, we did quite a battle there. Some good followers. That's the Titan that we confederated, or the Tyrant, not the Titan. But, yeah, how much movement range do we have? So if we attack this army that survived, we'll be left with a little less than half of our movement range. And it will use quite a bit to get here, so I don't think we have enough movement range to take out the armies. So I'm going to go after the settlement, preferably, so that way we get more healing over the end turn. I'm going to fight this one real fast, too, just because we took a lot of casualties with that last battle, so we have to be really careful now. The Ogre Horde advances. After that battle with Ghorst, this battle should be a piece of cake. We are facing just a settlement garrison, but our Firebelly again putting off some fireballs to hit these fellbats. I really don't like them when they can get on our back line, get on our trappers, so I'm trying to take care of them as soon as we can. But slowly moving up, I tried to keep our formation mostly together so our Nobblers could provide their meat shieldiness for our ogres, but our Bruiser's getting a little bit overzealous though. He's going in. He's not waiting for no one. Got a little club and iron fist, and I think we're going to get a burning head down here in just a second. Got some wind coming off the undead. Yep, there's our burning head. That'll get a nice little start to the undead hordes before we move in for the charge. Direwolves decided to come after our trappers right here, so I sent our Iron Guts and our Man-Eaters to go deal with them real fast. But yeah, Bruiser coming in, he's not afraid of a fight, so he's going to go on all by his lonesome. Ogres and Nobblers coming for your charge against the Skeleton Warriors and the Zombies. Firebelly leading the right flank. And these Ogre Bulls with Iron Fist coming in to go after these Spearmen. They do brace for the charge, but since we do get Ogre Charge, we don't lose all of our charge bonus, so they still will do an okay amount of damage. We don't have any support from any Nobblers yet, so that may prove to be a little bit dangerous for them as the battle goes on. But with the rest of the army crumbling so quick, it shouldn't prove to be too much of a worry. Yeah, Fellbats going down if they try to get on our trappers. I send the Iron Guts back just to help them out a little bit before they can do too much damage. The left flank crumbling. A little bit of leadership just barely holding them together. But Greases has broken the center. The first unit has already disappeared as they move more towards the right. We have a second burning head coming down. Gonna roast those spearmen that were fighting our Ogre Fists. Alright, so pretty easy battle, but we did have to fight it manually just so we minimized our casualties. We ended up losing 35 guys, almost certainly just Nobblers. But we do get, we get a Scarecrow banner. That's actually not worthless anymore, since Fellbats are quite common in Vampire Count armies. Plus, as Ogres, we have the opportunity to recruit Blood Vultures now. We don't have any in the army yet, but I do like them as units. We will keep them around once we actually get some. So the Scarecrow banner can be useful, but we'll keep it on our trappers for now, because the fast vampire units do like to get on top of them. But we're going to keep this territory, so let's just occupy it. And there's our other bounty completed, so we got a whole lot more meat for Greasus. More diplomatic relations with the Skaven, which unfortunately that might piss off some other people. But that's kind of the norm for the ogres.
What do you want, me?
But pretty good battle. Let's just level our guys up. Now that we are done with those battles, we have 4 skill points. Awesome. And we actually did unlock another big name. Oh, it was our battle with a Pyrrhic victory. So now we have the word save on our Firebelly, which is nice. But looking at his skills, I would really like to get Arcane Conduit because that's really, really useful. As far as the Firebelly unique skills, they can be pretty good. They make him quite a bit more useful if you put him in enemy blobs. Like Flame Incarnate gives him damage reflection, and Eruption's a really, really good bound ability that does a little explosion around him. Let's do another point in Scouting for those magic items, and let's put another point in Burning Head so we can actually overcast it. And I actually do really like the spell Cascading Fire Cloak because it gives more armor and a little bit of a damage buff, but the armor can be really nice on characters. And on our Bruiser, let's get where you go. And this lets him make a unit unbreakable for a little bit. Oh, it affects all allies in range. Oh, never mind, it is just one. But that can be pretty good. That would have been useful in that last battle. Let's spend another point in training and do Unstoppable Force. We unlock his unique skill in at rank 12, which bruisers do get some really, really good abilities, so we do want to make sure we save some skill points for that. And we unlock our careers at rank 14, so we still got a little bit to go for them. Our bruiser has pretty good melee attack. His melee defense is alright. Let's go for larger gut plate, because the armor and leadership, the leadership in particular, is really, really useful for the ogres. And for Greasus, what do you want to do now? So we haven't looked a whole lot at his unique skills. We'll get those at rank 12, so we're pretty close to that. This one to give population surplus for newly captured settlements. That's pretty good. That's only for his army, but I do like that. Diplomatic relations with the Ogre kingdoms and reduce construction costs locally. Trade Lord. So 20% more income basically from trade, which is awesome. He already gets a fair amount in his faction effects. Cash Cascade is a good ability. So this is ability that the Maneater cap, or the Paymaster I should say. This is ability they have. So it's pretty good on the charge. Also for the leadership if you're stuck in combat. Then Gold, Glorious Gold. So he gives nearby enemies melee attack and a damage buff. So yeah, these are things we want to get right away. Camp limit by 1 and meet construction cost. Both really good. And bigger and stronger. So he reduces the recruitment duration for large units in the local province. And weapon strength for his army for large units. So basically anything that's not a Nobbler. Then Over Tyrant gives us Lord and Hero recruit rank. That'll be great, especially since we're going to be using a lot of bruisers. Ooh, this is really, really nice. Unlocks hero recruitment for all heroes in the local province, so we don't have to have those buildings. Get all of them. That'll be really nice. So yeah, these are ones we want to get right away, and a hero capacity for all heroes. So yeah, I think we actually want all of these, so we'll save our skill points so that once we hit rank 12, we can get all of these at once. But we have got some magic items now. I think I forgot to equip them before the battle took place, but we'll equip them now. We want the long shots cap on our hunter because he's the only ogre hero with a ranged attack. Currently, some of the bruisers get one in their careers if we decide to choose those. Dragon Helm is armor and fire resist. I don't think we have any unit with a generation or anything, so just the extra armor we'll put on Greasus. Oh, I guess he has the enchanted shield already, because that gives him melee defense as well. So we'll stick the this on our bruiser. Tenderizer, yeah, that would have been really helpful. I forgot. I definitely should have equipped that before we fought that battle, because this is a pretty good damage buff for a unit. So we'll put that on Greasus for now, because he's really good at killing characters. It pumps his weapon strength up quite a bit, up to 650. And Rockeye, this one is not very good. This just gives forest spotting, but we'll stick it on our hunter for when he joins the army. And yeah, I should have moved the hunter closer because he could have participated. Oh, I guess never mind. That we got attacked over the interns. He wouldn't have been able to join Greasus for that battle anyway. But we will bring him down. Let's see if we can do a agent action since we have a lot of gold to give him a little bit more experience if he succeeds. Hopefully he doesn't get wounded though. Okay, he failed but did not get wounded. That's fine. He still gets a little bit of experience. Bringing the bruiser down as well. They'll both be able to join Greasus next turn. But we have completed 2 of our bounties. Yeah, Village of the Tigerman. Oh, we'd have to go through Gelt to get there, which I don't think I want to do. Oh no, never mind. Ogres have immunity to trespassing penalties as a faction now since the rework, so maybe we'll go there. That's a lot of gold. We want their positive relations with Xiaoming, and the banner's not bad. So once we finish off Ghorst, that probably is our next target. But now that we have a fair amount of meat, let's get some of these over to our camps so that we can actually build it up a little bit. I'm not going to make this mistake again of leaving us so low on meat for the army that we go into starving, because that would be bad. So we'll transfer over about 500. And let's look at that camp now.
tyrant.
Yeah, let's go ahead and get it up to tier 3. And we're going to go for this one because this generates meat for nearby armies. And it will allow us to recruit a butcher. Which, I guess we actually have access to a butcher right here anyway. But at tier 3 in the camp, it gives us another slot for butcher, so it's worth it anyway. But did we have enough meat for anything else? Nope, we're down to 18. Was there something that we wanted a little bit more? I don't think so. Because this only applies... No, this one applies to all armies in range. This one only applies to the camp army, though, so... And reduced upkeep, and... Yeah, we'll spend that where we were on the meat. That seems like a pretty good stopping point for this episode. We had some really good battles. Well, basically just that one battle, but it was a nail biter. But we will pick this up in the next episode. Thank you guys so much. I'm Warhammer, and have a great day, guys.